Okay. I'll try to speak loud because this volume seems to be going to Michael's computer instead of our remote speaker. So we're having a hard time hearing. We may have to sort this out in future with future tests. But anyway, I'm John Burr. I'm the chair of the Armory Park Advisory Board. And tonight, April 16th, 2024, we have an agenda and we have a quorum. I'm calling it at 6:33 p.m. to start the meeting. And we have roll call. I'm here. Maurice?
Hi.
Great. Helen?
Here.
Thank you. Pat? Present. And Lynn?
Present.
Great. So 5-0, Stan is in Spain. Item 2, approval of minutes. They got posted and I sent them out. Any comments, questions? There are a couple typos, like Tim Tomeyer spelled wrong, but it's not any point in revising it. But did they look okay otherwise for everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we accept them as written.
I'll second the motion.
Let's do Maurice since we'll split it. First, second. All right, roll call vote. All in favor? Aye. John, I say aye. Maurice?
Aye.
Great. Helen?
Aye.
Great. Pat?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
5-0. Great. Michael, did any comments come in written?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, no comments.
For this motion, was it Pat who seconded or Maurice?
Lynn did the first,
Yes.
moved it, and Maurice, we're gonna call that so that we have a split for the hybrid meeting. Even though Pat actually did it as well.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
great. All right, item 4, reviews. We only have one case tonight. SD 0923-00108, 326 East 17th Street. Construct rear yard detached ADU, full review, contributing resource, and doesn't look like the owners are here, but we have Jeff.
Yes.
You're here. Would you, Michael, can you share screen?
Sure. Oh, you want to share your screen, Jeff?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, all I'm going to do is do the submittal package and just go through the items there and just kind of briefly go over the project and open it up to any questions you guys might have.
Okay. Oh shit. So I am going to make you the co-host so you can share your screen.
Okay.
What's his name? Jeff.
I'm getting good at reading lips.
I'll make you a co-host right now so you can share your screen. You should be good to go.
Okay. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically what we have here is a pretty typical residence in this area. The original house is a 1907 single-story residential house. It always has been and still is. For the most part, it is original in all of its materials other than standard upkeep and maintenance that's happened over the years, with the exception of there was a small dining room addition done off the southwest corner of the property done back in 2003. The reason I make note to that is that the aesthetic of that addition is really what drove the aesthetic for the ADU. One, because I think it marries up nice with the historical fabric of the main house without detracting it, and trying to abide by the federal Department of Interior historical aesthetic requirements to enhance and historical, but not matching it exactly. So that's kind of where we were going with that. The existing ADU is 800 and what is it, 800 something square feet. 2 bedroom, 1 bath, little house. Meets all of the zoning criteria under the RH3 zoning in terms of setback and height and coverage and everything. We're not asking for anything unusual there. The parking requirements are according to the zoning, and the only thing to be worth noting is the fact that there is currently a dilapidated shed, and the zoning administrator and I have went round and round on this for a while, in the standpoint that the shed is in a terrible state of disrepair. We even had the building official come out and deem it not savable. And we have an active demo permit to actually remove that structure before it falls and hurts somebody. And I'm suspecting, based on the way it's built, it probably was built without a permit in the first place. It's unclear exactly how old it is. So that's just acknowledging that on the site plan. That is what is this, the underlying structure is approximately right here. It's right on the property line, the western property line on Southern Railroad Avenue. That's to be removed, and then the ADU is the shaded structure in the rear. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else you guys might want to know about. We're matching the windows of the addition of the dining room. The stucco will match it. The roof will match it. Material and style. Overhangs will match it. And the one thing noting, as well as the original structure has got the angled sill, masonry sill bricks on the main house. They accomplished that by prefabbed concrete sills on the addition. And it looks nice doing it that way. So we were going to duplicate that on the ADU as well. And I can go through the photos and show you what I'm talking about right here. Zoom in. That's too much. You can kind of see them right here. But that's the addition. Let's see if I got another shot of it. That's the structure that's coming down. See, it's just turbine grid. It has no footings. It's a scary shape. In fact, the main thing that was pushing it was the owners tried to get, when they went to go renew their insurance policy, they were questioning whether the structure was even covered. And when they found out and saw pictures of it, they said they wouldn't even cover it. So that's why we kind of started going down the road of seeing if we couldn't get it removed so it doesn't fall. And I don't think I have any better shots of those sills. That's all neighborhood stuff. So in a nutshell, that's the project. I don't know what things you guys focus on, or other information you might not know about it.
Can you go back to the site plan?
I can do that. Zoom back out so we can get it all on one screen. How about that? Read that better anyway. Yes, sir.
We're not seeing it on our end. You may have closed screen.
I didn't push share.
There we go. One of the dimensions you have listed there between the proposed residence and the existing residence, you have it listed as 6 feet 0 inches.
I just saw that about 10 minutes before the meeting started. It's actually 11'6". My bad.
11'6", so you will need to correct that for the plan.
We'll fix that.
Okay, so you're going to have the 2 parking spaces that are approximately 10 by 19 with an inset of 9 by 18?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a couple general questions.
Okay.
There's not much we can do about the shed. It's sad to see an original structure from 1909 going, but that the director's decision has already been issued, so we understand that it's no longer in good enough shape.
It wasn't built in 1909. The main house was in 1909. We're not real sure when the shed showed up. I was talking to the administrator. There's about a 10-year period that prior to that it wasn't there, and after that it was. So we're not 100% sure how old it is.
Yeah, there's some discrepancies. We're just looking at the letter that Jody sent us, that she sent to Catherine Leonard, showing that there was a structure there, and it was originally 4 bays. 10 feet came off when the Seashoals added the dining room in 2003, and it's probably in bad repair, and I can see insurance is getting tighter and tighter, but it's sad to see an old original structure go, but there's not much we can say about that one.
Okay.
One quick question about the windows. Your narrative says vinyl windows, but your plans, and you haven't showed us the floor plans yet, show that they are all wood windows. Are they, do you anticipate having them clad or
They're
all
going
wood?
They're going to be Kobe and Kobe windows, just like the dining room addition. There was some conversation about that. The owners would prefer to do vinyl just because it is easier to get the energy requirements, but we understand the historical fabric of wood windows and the precedent of that in this area. So we're going to do the Kobe and Kobe like we did on like was done on the addition. So they will be wood.
So they all be wood windows?
Yes,
Okay.
and it's called out on the elevations. I'll show you that.
And also a question on the doors. There was some, I looked at some of the comments. You plan on having all wood solid doors with panels. Well, the entrance door will be a panel door, and the door going out is a single glass, large window looking out towards the east.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And how much do you anticipate the windows will be inset in the wall, since it's 4x6 construction?
It's, I mean, the original, or not the original, the addition is 2x6 wood frame is actually, no, it is masonry. So it's got an inset there. We can do an offset and make them deeper in the wall if need be. We've got that sill plate on the bottom that would make up any discrepancy for waterproofing purposes.
It's a requirement that windows are set back by the code for the district.
Okay, that's
They
fine.
will need to be inset. We should call that out.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. The other thing, looking at the other plans, your setback for the main house says that it's 9 feet, but on the plans for the dining room, it said it was 12 feet 6. Is there some discrepancy or just difference in measuring between overhang and wall?
Say that again.
Your site plan shows that the existing residence is set back 9 feet, but the plans that for the dining room shows the building set back 12 feet 6 inches from the property line. I was just wondering what that difference was.
12'6". I don't see where you're seeing that.
It's from previous plans. It's just
These measurements are
the
based off,
property.
these are based off of physical measurements. In the,
And then you say that you're going to do some landscaping, but nothing is stated about landscaping, and there's nothing on your plan about landscaping. Are we just going to leave that to you, or are you planning anything?
a lot of that hasn't been decided yet. The only place that would be landscaped that would be visible for the public way would be to between South Railroad Avenue and the actual structure itself. There's a green belt area that we could certainly do something nice there. I'm not sure what it would be.
But
Probably
it's not going to be part of your development package.
No.
That would be by owner afterwards.
correct.
All right, and then it mentions that you would try to replicate the wrought iron fence, and the wrought iron fence is on the northern side and the south or the western line along the existing residence, but then it changes to chain link fence. There's two chain link 6-foot fences between the structure that's going to be demolished and the dining room. And then another segment, and then there are some new fences made out of corrugated metal behind them between the existing residence and the proposed residence. If you're going to make those parking spaces, what do you anticipate the final fencing for this new area that's all reconfigured to be?
Probably wrought iron, similar to, if you can see that.
Because if you scroll down another photo, it shows corrugated off there to the side on the
Right,
east
I
of the
can
house.
see Yeah, it'll probably be something, the wrought iron like this, except 6 foot high. For security
So
purposes.
you're proposing 6-foot high wrought iron fencing for all the replacement fencing?
Correct.
Does that mean you're taking out all the chain link fence?
Yes.
Okay, great. We needed to know that. Thank you.
God awful.
Okay. And then I will comment on the windows. You have a lot of horizontal ones and they look like they are 15 inches tall by 30 inches wide.
Let me get the elevation.
Yeah, you haven't given us those yet, so you might just walk us through. Theoretically, our guidelines say that you can't have clear story windows, but I can understand why you would want smaller, higher windows right there on the Minor Avenue face. And it does differentiate it as a new building. But I just wanted to know what your thinking was, because you have an appropriately scaled vertical window in the eastern bathroom, but not in the northern bathroom or any of the windows on the west face.
Let's see. The west facing, yes, I mean, it's a privacy issue, first of all, but second of all, we're talking about a relatively small building. And you look at the floor plan, if those windows went all the way, vertical, I would virtually have no place to put any furniture in that room. So the idea was to afford some privacy, but also give it a little bit more option in terms of laying out furniture inside the space.
As I said, because you're there on the alley, I can see that we might approve it since this is obviously new construction and isn't the contributing structure on the site.
Right.
But we will have to call that out as specific to this site and not a precedent for the neighborhood and approving them because it's contrary to our guidelines.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
Don't
And
call
the same
yourself
thing for the
any
bathroom there on the north side, would you consider, I think it's a 20/30 that you've got in the other bathroom, would you consider a more vertical window there? Or is that because that's going to be adjacent to parking as well in your shower stall?
Which one?
On the north elevation,
North elevation.
that's a clerestory window.
Um,
Would you consider making that a vertical one that matches the bathroom over on the east side of the dwelling?
no, not, I would rather get rid of it than do that because that creates a water problem. That is a shower right there.
Okay,
Wouldn't want to have a window down low like that and have the sill of that window be subjected to spray from the shower. I'd rather get rid of it if that's what you guys want.
I just thought I would ask,
Yeah.
but it does match the other windows you're proposing that seem to be reasonable in this specific case. Okay, those were the clarifications I had for it.
Okay.
Let's go around the room. Maurice, comments?
Well, you pretty much asked the questions that I had. So at this point in time, I would say green light. I don't see any problem. Okay. I was concerned about, the windows and doors and the fence line, on the Railroad Avenue side, but you answered those questions. So I'm good with the project.
Okay. Helen?
Unmuting was not easy. I just wanted to check on the roof. What are the materials for the roof?
It'll be composition shingle, just like the main house.
Okay, thank you.
We'll probably do a high profile architectural type shingle.
But they'll generally match
Yes.
those in the contributing structure.
Yes.
Okay. And again, my questions mostly have been asked by John because my concern was the vinyl window proposal. So I think it just needs to be clear on the plans that you will not be using vinyl windows.
Yeah, if you look at the callouts on the floor plan, I've already changed them on the floor. But I thought that vinyl thing was original and then that it gotten changed. You might be looking at an old version.
Okay. Just double checking that. Otherwise, it looks good to me.
Thank you.
And I will interject real quickly here. You do not have a wall height and a base of window height on your plans. You will need to correct those as well. I assume that the wall height is about 8'6" under the eave.
Yeah, I had it at 9 foot and I couldn't get the 12-foot height to work. So we did go down to 8'6". And the windows are all set at 6'8" standard height.
For the top of them.
Correct.
Okay, and there is one clarification. Height in the historic district is actually defined as the total height. So your building is actually going to be 14 feet, 11 inches tall.
Correct.
The midpoint height is for every other area, but it doesn't apply in the HPZ. But it is smaller than the contributing structure and appropriate in your district, but we need to comment on that.
Okay. Good to know. I learned something tonight. I did not know that.
That's fine. We're doing our due diligence.
I get you.
Great. Pat, comments?
Well, in regarding due diligence, the structure that is slated for demolition.
Mm-hmm.
How was that decision made? Did it come before this board or?
Yeah, I can answer that. So
I did not come before the board.
yeah, so it did not come before the board or anybody because this decision was made by the building official. The code requires that in the historic preservation zone, if a building is contributing or not contributing, the building official can determine that that building is a safety issue and it cannot be allowed to stay, whether it is contributing or not. If it is determined by the building official that the building has been considered unsafe and a health and safety issue and recommend demolition, then that demolition takes place. That is why it did not come before the board. Other than that, that particular structure would have come before you for review and recommendation because it was contributed.
And what part of my
A specific question about that. It's Tucson Code, chapter 16-6, that says that if a building official determines that it can't be done, but it also specifies that an architect and an engineer should also look at it, and I don't think that was done in this case.
Well, we have an engineering section in the planning and development services that reviews all plans that come for review.
And they also determined that the
Also,
building was beyond salvage.
Yep.
Okay, all right, great. We just wanted clarity.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Lynn?
No questions.
Okay, so generally, we need to have a motion that approves it as presented, noting the exceptions, being that the windows are wood, that the doors are wood or wood clad. The doors are wood paneled or single pane, and that the windows will be inset, and that the height is the 12-foot height for the ADU is waived due to standards of the development zone. And anything else?
Yeah, you mentioned something that
Oh, and that landscaping is not
the-
part of the review.
right, you mentioned something, the height of the window should be noted. So I think the height of the window should be noted.
Hang on, Maurice, just a second. And Michael's adding another point.
That the existing chain link and corrugated fence as it is now is going to be replaced with a wrought iron fence.
Right, did you all hear that over there? The chain
Yes.
link is the chain link and corrugated is going away and will be replaced by wrought iron 6-foot fencing.
And there was
Okay,
also,
well,
the site plan shows a setback between the main house and the existing house to be talking about 9 feet and 12 feet.
Okay, we need to specify that as the plans move forward, that the distance between the contributing structure and the new ADU is not 6 feet.
Or none.
It's
11.
11 feet, 6 inches, and that the wall height is 8 feet 6 on the new ADU. So we've got all those things written down. Is anybody willing to make the motion?
yes, but I have one more question. Okay, are the gates going to be chain link as they are now, or are they going to be replaced with forged iron?
Wrought iron. All the chain link will be removed.
That's why we put that in there and Michael added it. The chain link's going away and will be replaced with 6-foot wrought iron to match the existing.
Then I would advance a motion.
Great,
that
thank you,
should
Maurice.
cover. Okay, the motion should cover all the items that were listed by you and by Michael. Okay, and the plan should be revised to show the actual distance between the ADU and existing structure. And the height of the windows on the plans should also be indicated. And that's it.
Thanks, Maurice. Do we have a second? You want a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Motion, Maurice and Pat. Any further discussion? Yeah, are we all kind of agreed that those are standard and Jeff, are you okay with that?
Not a problem. Stuff we were all going to do anyway.
That's what I thought. We just wanted to make sure it's clear and that there's a recording that we did discuss the items that were kind of out of the parameters.
That's why we do this.
Yeah. And you'll get an entirely different set of questions when you move on to PRS. Helen, do you have any comments? Are we okay?
No, I was going to second it, but I couldn't unmute myself. That's all.
Okay, great. I will do roll call. I say aye. Maurice,
Aye.
Helen,
I,
great. Pat,
Aye.
Lynn, passes 5-0. Great, thanks so much.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.
Do you know the next steps, or you can get with Michael? You'll be going on to PRS and you will need to show them this same package, but you will need to go over what we called out that you need to correct.
Okay. I am assuming there'll be some type of letter document itemizing all these things, so I don't trust my memory.
They will be written up in the minutes and you should at least have the action item that lists all this stuff before it goes to plans review for you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay?
All
Thanks
right.
for coming
Thanks so
in.
much. Good night.
So if you will not remember, Jeff, if you will not remember, once the legal action report is written,
Uh-huh.
and you have all these conditions here, we can share it with you. And you probably can revise your plans at that time before you go to plans review, or you can leave it as it is. You go to plans review and get your own comments and revise your plans one time.
Well, I'm ready to go back. I mean, I'm already out. Ken's already looked at it. Building's ready to go. We were just getting this process done. So what I'll do is once I get the minutes, I'll reflect everything and then I'll submit a third submittal and that should cover everything for everybody.
Yeah, technically, plans
So-
review should see this same plan that you presented us tonight, and then you can show the updates based upon our comments for them to say, yes, they did it right.
Okay. All right. Not a
That
problem.
makes sense?
Yep.
But they have to see the same plans we do.
Okay.
Okay,
Not a problem.
good luck with it.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5, design guidelines, no updates. Minor reviews. Michael, any coming up?
No, Mr. Chair, as you know, I just came back from an extended vacation and I do not have any data coming up at this point in time. But if I do have any between now and next week, I will make sure that I let you know.
Okay, so nothing there. I haven't attended any. Michael's been out of town. Jody did just send me the director's decision for a case we reviewed in March over on South Stone Avenue, and I can forward that decision letter to you. It basically follows what both we and PRS recommended for the building, for the exterior. Okay, call the board. Anybody? Maurice, anything?
No, no news, good news.
Okay, thanks. Helen?
I just wanted to mention the NAPC camp training, which I think was very good and very successful. And anyone who did not get to attend it in person, I think you have 60 days to do so. And it's really, if you haven't done that, it's absolutely worthwhile. It was excellent.
Yeah, I just want to add that Helen's contribution to that camp was really good, and I'm very happy that she got involved in it and that she got us involved. It was a very good camp.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Helen.
Thanks. Pat, anything?
No.
Lynn, anything? Okay, the only thing I have coming up is they just closed the nominations yesterday for the Ward 6 replacement. It's up to, I think, 12 different candidates. And there should be a forum for the 4 that move forward at the discretion of mayor and council coming up on the 23rd. And if anyone's interested, I can send that notice. But it's available if you click on the city clerk website or page on the website if you want to follow that whole process. Other than that, I don't really have anything coming up. Michael, future agenda items, item 8.
We do have one pending case that I was working on it before I left, and I will continue to work on it. That will probably be coming before you. It is a zoning violation on 327 East 13th Street for the fence. So I'm trying to get
18th Street?
17. Oh, 13. It's
Could you read the address again?
327 East 13.
13. Okay, that's
13.
the one that's been floating around for 3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
We started it as a minor review. It got approved as a minor review, and it turned around and built something that is totally different from what was approved. And so it's coming back to you now under a full review process. If he's not willing to do that, then we have to proceed to citation and possible fines that can come up.
Do you anticipate that coming up in May or June?
I would need to talk to the applicant before I know. Last time he said he was ready, but what he has submitted so far are not ready for review.
Okay.
So I'll talk to him one more
It'd be
time.
good if we pushed it to June, then we'll have all 6 of us again.
Okay,
Stands in Spain until the end of May.
we can do that.
Okay.
I don't even think it will come in May because we have to.
Okay. Anything else you see on
No,
there?
not anything. There's nothing else now that I can think of, unless Jody is working on that.
Okay.
Is that the property that has that funky fence on the outside on
Yeah, it's
13th
the
Street?
funky horizontal fencing that
Michael?
went up without a permit.
Is Drew somebody or Lena Zeknik or something?
We shouldn't discuss the case, but it's one we've been tracking for a long time. It's that newer non-contributing structure that they just kind of put up a very strange wall.
It is very strange, yes.
There are a couple of
Well,
zoning
screening is
violations
very-
in Armory Park too that I'm tracking on them. I've just don't recall the address, but there's a one that they changed the porch into some other furniture. So by next time I'll give you concise addresses. I have like 2 cases in the Armory Park that I'm working on.
I understand you just got back like yesterday,
Last-
Michael?
last
Were you
night.
gone 6 weeks?
Yes, I just got back last night.
Yowza. Well, welcome back. I hope you had a nice time on your trip. Are you here for the rest of the year?
Yes.
Now that we know the equipment works, we will try to get the audio working better for the next meeting by splitting it between the camera and the actual speaker phone, because that was a problem. Before we close up, Annika, do you want to say anything?
No, I was here just observing and taking notes. I'm in a land use law class right now at the university. And so I was just here kind of observing the process. So I appreciate you letting me do that.
How do we do?
I was really impressed. I thought it was really fast paced, so it was a little hard to keep up with like notes and everything. But yeah, it was all really interesting, and I liked how you were able to like specifically cite sections in the code for certain design elements. So yeah, it was really interesting.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank
Did
you.
you say you're a student at U of A?
Yes, I'm getting my master's in urban planning.
Oh,
Great. Very nice to meet you. Thanks again for joining us. Now that we're moving to hybrid meetings, hopefully more people will join us here at Stafford School, and we'll get more participation from the neighborhood, something that's kind of fell away during the whole pandemic sort of thing. Anyway, all right, I'm going to call the meeting here at 7:08 p.m. Thank you all. Have a great night, a great month, and enjoy spring.
Bye all.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.
stop recording. I'm going to stop the recording now, Mr. Chair.